Good morning, planet Earth. it's morning here where I am anyway. Today I'm going to read the short chapter, chapter 7, and it is Instigate Metaphysics. Ooh. Anyway, let me get to it. Instigate Metaphysics. Spiritual aspects. Metaphysical. As we move around the tetrahedron, we will find two sides that represent the metaphysical, the soul and spirit. These are intuition and intention, respectively. These two represent metaphysics. The meta prefix connotes inclusion of something more than physical, right? Or does it simply include the unseen physical? Metaphysics is a branch of philosophy concerned with the nature of existence, being, and the world. Arguably, metaphysics is the foundation of philosophy. Aristotle calls it first philosophy, or sometimes just wisdom, and says it's the subject that deals with first causes and the principle of things. It asks questions like the following: what is the nature of reality? How does the world exist, and what was its origin or source of creation? Does the world exist outside of the mind? How can the incorporeal mind affect the physical body? If things exist, what is their objective nature? Is there a God, or many gods, or no God at all? Originally, the Greek word metaphysica, literally after physics, merely indicated that part of Aristotle's word that came in its sequence after those chapters that dealt with physics. Aristotle split his metaphysics into three main sections: ontology, the study of being and existence, including the definition and classification of entities, physical or mental, the nature of their properties, and the nature of things. Natural theology, the study of God, including the nature of religion and the world, existence of the divine, questions about the creation, and various other religious or spiritual issues. And third, universal science, the study of the first principle of logic and reasoning, such as the law of non-contradiction. Later, it was interpreted as that which is above or beyond the physical. And so, over time, metaphysics has effectively become the study of that which transcends physics. For the purposes of this book, we will simply call metaphysics or metaphysical the spiritual aspects. Extracted from dictionary.com are the following definition: metaphysics. Noun. The branch of philosophy that deals with the first principles of things, including abstract concepts such as being, knowing, substance, cause, identity, time, and space. Abstract theory, or talk with no basis in reality. His concept of society as an organic entity is, for market liberal, simple metaphysics. Metaphysical, adjective, relating to metaphysics, the essentially metaphysical question of nature of the mind, based on abstract, typically excessively abstract, reasoning. An empiricist rather than a metaphysical view of the law. Abstract, theoretical, conceptual, notional, philosophical, speculative, intellectual, academic. Transcending physical matter or the laws of nature. Good and evil are inextricably linked in a metaphysical battle across the space and time. Of or characteristic of the metaphysical poets. Air is physical. We cannot see it. We know it is there by things it affects, like when we see the trees move in the wind. We can feel the wind. We can see particulates suspended in air. What is the shape of air? That's a Daniel Amos reference. Oh, and we cannot live without air. Radio waves over the airwaves, Thomas Dolby reference. There can be hundreds of radio stations all around us and we don't know it. We know they are there. All this information, music, whatever, is passing right through us. The only way we can detect them is to have a receiver, and then we need to tune into the correct frequency. Radio waves are invisible, yet we can detect them. Radio waves pass through solid objects, the air, or a vacuum. Waves are simply a transfer of energy. In fact, scientists at one time concluded that light was a wave, so there had to be something a kind of medium in space for it to pass through. If this medium didn't exist, the energy from the sun would not transfer to the Earth because waves cannot transmit through nothing. This is interesting. We know that electromagnetic spectrum passes through space. Space is not a perfect vacuum. Space is filled with energy, gravity, matter, antimatter. Does it matter? We know the speed of light. It is considered a constant at 186,000 miles or so per second. We also know light can be bent through medium like water or a prism. It can even be bent by gravity in space. It is said that the speed of light is a constant of the universe. There are also studies that show the speed of light is slowing down. Now, it can't be both a constant and changing speed. I wonder if the reason light seems to be slowing down is that time is speeding up. We already know that time changes depending on your relative speed according to relativity. Can't argue with Einstein, right? If time can speed up and slow down, how do we know how old the universe is? Who has time to figure all this out? Should we? For the spiritual aspects, I find they are where we come from. Thus, I find the word instigate fits here best. Keep this in mind as we continue the discovery of the complete individual. Even if you ignore the spiritual aspects, they continue to provide the reason for being. The following definition of instigate is from dictionary.com. Instigate, verb, bring about or initiate an action or event. In truth, the dividing line between spiritual and physical aspects is very fuzzy. And that's it. That's the short chapter. Tomorrow we'll get into intuition, and then the day after that, intention. So we're cruising through this book. Actually, we're about halfway through now. So there you go. It's not a big book, but I think it's dense. Okay, and maybe that's because I am too. Who knows? Anyway, that's it for today. Have a wonderful one. It's hot day here in Southern California, and I'll take that. It's okay. All right. Have a good day and a good weekend. Oh yeah, thank God it's Friday. Bye.